Let me guess what you've heard about expensive housing. Some people say it's immigrants driving up demand. Others say it's greedy landlords. Some blame Airbnb. Others point at NIMBYs blocking construction. Here's the thing. They're all partially right, and that's the problem with this conversation. We keep looking for the answer when we need to look at all the answers. Let me show you what actually happened. In 1980, the median home price was about 3 times the median household income. That meant if you made $50,000 a year, you could reasonably afford a $150,000 house. Today, that ratio is 8 to 1. In some cities, it's 12 to 1. So a household making $75,000 is looking at $600,000 homes. That's not a market, that's a crisis. So what changed? First, housing became an investment vehicle instead of just shelter. In 2011, Wall Street firms owned essentially 0 single-family homes. Today, they own over 574,000, and that's just the big players we can track. BlackRock, Invitation Homes, American Homes for Rent. They're buying up entire neighborhoods, often paying cash above asking price. Regular families can't compete with that. Why? Because housing is now a commodity that generates reliable returns. When rent goes up 5 to 7% annually, that beats most stocks. But here's what that means for you. You're not just competing with other families anymore. You're competing with billion-dollar investment portfolios. That alone doesn't explain everything, but it's a huge piece. Second, we stopped building enough housing. In most American cities, 75% or more of residential land is zoned exclusively for single-family homes. That means no apartments, no duplexes, no townhouses. Who benefits from this? Existing homeowners whose property values go up when supply is restricted. Who loses? Everyone trying to enter the market. And construction hasn't kept pace with population growth. Since 2000, the U.S. population grew by about 18%. Housing stock grew by only 14%. Simple math. More people, less housing per person. Prices go up. Third, short-term rentals pulled housing off the market. Airbnb launched in 2008. By 2019, there were about 1.3 million active listings in the U.S. Those used to be long-term rentals or homes people could buy. Now they're hotels without the regulations. In tourist cities, entire apartment buildings converted. In my city, landlords realized they could make more renting to tourists 15 days a month than to a family for 12 months. Again, not the only factor, but it matters. Fourth, and yes, we're going here, population growth, including immigration. The U.S. added about 60 million people since 2000. That's real. Those people need places to live. But here's the critical context. If we had built enough housing, updated zoning, and restricted investor purchases, that population growth would have been manageable. Japan has strict housing supply policies and builds consistently. Tokyo, one of the world's largest cities, has stable housing costs despite population growth. The problem isn't that people exist. The problem is we didn't plan for them, native-born or immigrant. So here's what actually happened. Investment firms financialized housing. Zoning blocked construction. Short-term rentals removed supply. Population grew faster than housing stock. Wages stagnated while costs exploded. It's all of these, together, compounding. Anyone who tells you it's just immigration, or just corporations, or just zoning is either lying or doesn't understand the problem. Real solutions require addressing everything. That's harder than having a villain. It's also the only thing that works. Next video, what actually needs to change? Subscribe if you want solutions, not scapegoats.